I'm going to share with you a very simple system that'll help you organize and manage a group of people into a graceful, flowing, efficient system. The system was originally designed by a friend of mine named Harry Oles. I don't know where he got it from, but he used to work at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory managing all their engineers there. And he carried a piece of paper around in his pocket with these 5 symbols on, and he would ask people to choose 2 of those symbols from the 5, and that would help him better understand how they thought and how they worked best within the system. So here are the 5 symbols. I want you to choose 2 of these symbols, the 2 that you're pulled to first, your first and your second choice. And it should be real simple. Here you go. So you got it? Should be pretty simple. All right, so I hope you got it. We got a square, a rectangle, a triangle, a circle, and a squiggly. So the first one would be the squares. The people who like the squares generally like groups. They like a system of rules, regulations, and boundaries within those groups. They don't mind for us to always have step-by-step process. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is how they work best in a group. They like those rules to be set. They work as a group together within those rules and regulations, and they move smoothly. Very simple, and we need a lot of those people. So people who like the rectangles also like groups, and they like a system of organization also, but they're more flexible within that group. They can go from step 1 to 2, skip step 3 and go to 4 and then 5 and come back and get step 3 again later. And they're a more flexible group, but they also like the rules, regulations, and boundaries, and they like a system of organization. These are both very important groups of people. These people generally are the ones that get a lot of the work done, at least in the systems we have now particularly. So the triangles, people who like the triangles are actually the business leaders. They're the ones that force us through. They're like a little wedge. They move things out of the way and they keep progress going. These guys want progress. They don't care so much about perfection as completing the job, okay? But they're definitely the ones that motivate. They're the motivators. And the problem we quite often have is we have these groups and we have more than 1 leader per group. And when you have more than 1 leader per group, if you find out you have more than 1 leader per group, you might be best off splitting the group up into 2 or 3 pieces and letting those individual leaders co-lead the individual groups and then bring them back together. Sometimes it works best to do that and let it be more flexible within the group. So these are the business leaders. These are the ones that want to get progress done. So the circles, they're an interesting group. These are the people who actually are more individual. These guys are holistic thinkers. They look at all. They look at the mountains. They look at the hills. They look at the trees. They look at the limbs of the trees. And they look at the leaves and then the veins on the leaves. They look at everything, the front of the tree, the back of the tree. And they're usually the complainers. They're the ones going, ooh, there's a problem. This isn't going to work. Well, these holistic guys are super important. The trick is you don't get them to report to the group and complain within the group. That just makes the group dysfunctional. Instead, you get these guys to only report to the business leader or to another manager who then organizes all the problems and helps present them to the group to solve at a later date. But these guys are your watchdogs. These are really important people to have. You just cut down the path so that it's clear and efficient. Now these guys over here, the little squigglies, they're actually the weirdos. They're the individuals also that don't necessarily like groups. They can be within a group, but they are usually thinking well outside of the box. These guys are the innovators. These are the ones that are trying to create the whole new way for things to happen. And these innovators actually don't mind being left alone sometimes. So what Harry would do would be they'd come complain the group is too slow or there's a problem with the group. And he would ask them to look at this, and if they answered with this, he would say, well, from now on, do your work at home, or do your work at Starbucks or a coffee shop, or do your work in your cubicle. But you don't have to go deal with a group. Do your work, report to me with the solution for what you're doing, and then we'll present it to the group or to the leader of the group, and we'll get things flowing that way. He said these guys would solve more problems than anybody. But as long as he separated them, they were more efficient, they didn't cause friction within the group, and the whole thing worked beautifully. So these guys he would attach to the group, but he would not force them to do anything that wasn't within their feeling. And so within all this, we need all these people. We need the groups. We need the flexible groups. We need the leaders. We need the holistic thinkers or the watchdogs for the group. And then we need the innovators, the ones that are looking forward. Within all this, the whole system works really well when you know where people feel the best. So I hope this helped you out. There'll be more. And hope this helped you out. The guy's name was Harry Oles. He used to work at Jet Propulsion Laboratory. He's still working out there. He retired and came back. He's really passionate about what he does. So I hope this helped you out. Good luck.